Welcome back to Slothbox. I'm Lyndon Dixon, and as usual, this video is brought to you by the Excelsior Sporting Club. Today, I'm joined by Manchester's finest boxing prospect, Brad Ray. Brad, how are you getting on, mate?
No, I'm all good, thank you, mate. I'm all good, thanks. Thanks for having us on.
Good. No worries. I want to get straight into it and talk about that defeat last time out to Tyler Denny. For me, like in the build-up, it was a 50-50 fight and a good step up for yourself, but you came out of it the wrong end of it, if you want to say. How was those first few weeks dealing with that loss?
Yeah, it's tough, mate. Obviously, no one likes losing, especially your first loss. But I think I quickly realised it's one of them things. It's part of the game, and I think with kind of the mentality I had, I knew that was a tough fight. But I want to put myself in there. I want to test myself. I want to get in with these kids. And when I get back in there, hopefully get a date soon. Once I'm back to winning ways, I want to throw myself back in the mix straight away because I do feel like I'm at that level. I do feel like I'm at that level. I think since watching the fight back, I think I was far from the best on the night. I think Tyler fought a great fight. But for me, like I said, I think I'm at that level, and I think just correcting a few little things, bettering myself. A little bit. We've had quite a long time to kind of work on these things in the gym. So, I'm looking forward to kind of getting in there and showing people that, I know where I went wrong, and I know what I've done, and I'm trying to correct them anyway, trying me harder.
Well, you mentioned it there. It's your first loss, and I think any boxer that's been in the game long enough will tell you that that first one is the hardest one to deal with. But yourself, you dealt with a hand injury as well, straight off of it. So it's just like one thing after another. But how's that injury been to deal with?
Yeah, it's been a frustrating 6 months.
Mm.
What? After the fight, I was happy having a little bit of downtime. Kind of kept my head down. Had a little bit of time out of the gym and away from boxing and stuff, and then kind of got to Christmas, New Year, and I give myself a bit of a talking to. Said, right, come on, we're ready to get back to it now. You've had your blowout, and went in the hospital for a checkup, and kind of right, am I good to go? And I just got a big X, a big no chance. Basically said it was going to be another month or two, but at that point, I did get myself back in the gym, got myself back in the routine. I was training, near enough every day, doing the one-handed stuff with a jab, working on the lead hand, and I think that has kind of helped me now the point when I got ready, the all clear to start sparring and stuff. I felt good. I felt good from better than I was expecting anyway from six out. But yeah, it was nice to kind of get back into the routine, and slowly but surely, I just felt myself getting a little bit better each week.
Mm. Well, in terms of like the feeling in camp, like what is the feeling? Would you say since that loss that maybe the mindset's changed a little bit, or is it just like let's just get you back in the ring and sort of pick up where we left off?
Yeah, definitely. I don't think anything's changed drastically. Like you say, I just want to get back to kind of where I was before at that level.
Mm.
Uh, I feel like I'm good enough. I feel like I am at that level, and I know that that last fight doesn't seem that way. But I know what I'm capable of, and I know what I can do. I want to get back to winning ways. Hopefully, get me out in a little 6 rounder, shake the ring rust off, and then I want to throw myself back in the mix.
Mm. Well, let's talk about when you are going to come back because there's that Manchester card, a boxer card on July 1st. Now, what is a Manchester card without Brad Ray? Surely you're biting their heads off down the phone to get on that one.
Hopefully, mate.
Mm.
Hopefully, like you say, I've been out the ring a long time, and I'm sure the have other fighters that were taking priority over me. But I've let them know that if something's through on that date, I'm good to go. I'll the Eubank Smith fight's not on that card anymore. I'll sell a couple of hundred tickets, and I'm 6 rounder, man. Put me on at R4, whatever. You know what I mean?
I saw on Twitter a few days ago that I think Jordan Reynolds was sort of like calling you out a little bit, and yeah, are you up for that one?
Yeah, I mean, that's a fight I'm up for. Like I said to him myself, been out been out of the ring a while. Let me get back in there, a little 6 rounder under my belt, and then I think that's a great fight. Very fan friendly fight. I think it's only going one way, that fight, and it's going to be entertaining. He's a good lad, Jordan, very good fighter. When I was an amateur, he was kind of the top boy about at my weight. But I think as well, if we can get a win, that's a title worthy fight. I think over 10 rounds, I think I'll show that little bit more experience that I've got as a pro. But like you say, it's a great fight, a great matchup, and by the sounds of it, it's going to be an easy fight to make.
Yeah. Well, provided that comeback goes well, what sort of things are next for you, like for the rest of the year? Because the thing is, you're only 25, you've had 15 fights. Yeah, you've had a loss, but there's still so much more left. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes when a boxer loses, people talk about it like it is the end. Like, oh, if he loses again, then that is it. But no, like, there's still so much more left. So where do you want to be, like, come the end of the year?
Yeah, definitely. I know how. Like I'm still young in the game,
Yeah.
and there's some of my favorite fighters to watch now. And you look back. I remember years ago watching Maxi Hughes get beat for a central area by Scotty Cardle in Blackpool, and look him now what he's gone on to do. For me, I want titles, I want big fights. I want to get in the mix, and whether that's that English title that Denny's vacated now. I'm not sure if there's anything kind of lined up for that. But if that's vacant, I think that's something I'd love to go for, or whatever. You've got these international titles. I just want to work my way up to get back fighting at a good level. And I think once now I'm back sparring and stuff, things are starting to come together. A few fights to kind of shake off that ring rust, but I feel like by the end of the year, I want some kind of title.
Well, you mentioned his name there, Maxi Hughes. He's such like a great story in boxing, and he's got that fight with Kambosos Jr. And I saw today actually, Kambosos saying that Maxi Hughes is not elite, and he's going to show him the level that he's at. Blah blah blah. How do you see that one going? Because for me, on paper, Kambosos looks like he's going to have the upper hand. Blah blah blah. But Maxi's story, it looks like the fight's built for an upset, in my opinion.
Mate, how many times have we said that about Maxi? He's not on my level. He's not. He's this and that, and he pulls it out of the bag. I'm straight up Team Maxi Hughes. I think he's gonna smash him in the first round. He's just gonna do him in. No, that's a tough fight, man. Kambosos is an elite level fighter. But if he's writing Maxi off, I think do it at his own peril, and he might regret not realizing just how good Maxi is.
Well, another massive fight that I'm looking forward to, I'm sure you are as well, it's announced last week, I think. Spence Crawford, we're finally going to get it. Like, it's been years. But how do you see that one going? Because it's going to be a mental fight.
You know what, mate? I'm never one for sitting on the fence with big fights, but I think I am just going to sit back and just enjoy that. Like, it's been a long time coming. And if I do pick a winner, I'll just change my mind every week up until the fight. I think Crawford will probably be the favourite. But there's so many different ways that fight could go. I think it is a shame kind of how long it's took for the fight to happen. If the fight doesn't live up to his expectations, will it be? Well, it should have happened 4 years ago anyway. So, which is the only downfall. But for me, I think boxing it's been getting a little bit of stick recently. And when you kind of sit back and look at some of the fights that have been made, your Tank Garcias, your Haney Lomas, your Crawford Spence, like these are big fights. These are big fights. And for me, I think boxing's booming at the moment. I think the fights that people want are being made for a change, and as a boxing fan, it's great to see.
Well, last question, mate, and it's back to you. We spoke about what you want for the end of the year, but let's pretend it's Christmas time. You're about to have another blowout. Where do you see yourself come the end of the year? Hopefully, what have you done?
Yeah, mate, I think a good couple of wins under my belt. Like I say, some kind of title or two sat on my lap while I'm eating, fixing blankets. Yeah, mate, I'm just ready to kind of push on next year and kind
Mm.
of step to the next level.
Well, mate, it's been a pleasure speaking to you. I've been Lyndon Dixon. He's been Bradway, and we'll see you on the next one.
Top man, thank you.